Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to go over some unpleasant or harsh truths about why a lady might not be choosing you. I made the male version as well. Don't know which one I'm going to post first, but I will post both. This is something that I feel can be helpful. It's speculative based on the patterns I see as a therapist and just a person who's, lived life. I study psychology and I love interpersonal relationships and the study of interpersonal relationships. So this is something I'm very fascinated about. And so I put a lot of investment in learning about the patterns of individuals and humans. That's why I'm studying psychology, and that's why I'm going to continue to study and research in this field. And so I would like to share some of my thoughts with you guys and let me know what you think. And these are some patterns I do see, and patterns I feel usually have a purpose. Whether we know what the purpose is, sometimes we don't, but patterns show us something. And so we're going to talk about those patterns today. The first reason why she's not choosing you, or you feel like she's not choosing you, is because she doesn't like you. That is, if I didn't put that as the first one, I think that would be very silly. For the male version, the reason why I didn't put that one entirely specifically is because I noticed that usually if a man doesn't like a woman, he doesn't really entertain that relationship pretty much at all. I notice with women, though, they will still be friends with you, or they'll still try and get attention from you. And so that's why this one wasn't on the male one particularly, because men just don't do that as often. Like usually if he doesn't like you, it's a little bit more obvious. Whereas with ladies, she might use you for like particular things where there's like no like at all. She's just using some sort of resource or asset you have. And so if you don't feel like she's choosing you, it's because she doesn't like you, even if she's taking things from you, if that makes sense. The next one is, it's not that she doesn't choose. I don't know why I put this in the video, but I feel like it helps. Like you feel like she's not choosing you, but in actuality, she is choosing you, but she's waiting on you to make the first move. Now, I understand this is annoying, but it does actually happen. Some ladies don't really like to make the first move, or they don't know if that's the right thing to do. I think making the first move can be very helpful for women, but I also think I'm not one to talk because I did not make the first move on my significant other. He just came up to me and said that I'm pretty and that he wants my number. Like that is truly what happened. He also asked if I was single. So I'm not one to talk myself, to be completely honest. I do feel like I try to tell him how I feel and things that I want from him. And so I feel like that still is initiating within the relationship. But I admit that I don't initiate as much as probably maybe would be beneficial for me. And I think a lot of ladies are like that. Like, I'm just being honest, right? So she's probably expecting you to make the first move. That does happen. It's tricky for men because a lot of men don't really like being rejected, and they're rejected a lot, even throughout their childhood. So I do get that, but it is common. The next one is she's struggling with her own mental health, and she doesn't necessarily know what she wants. I don't think a lot of people know how common this is, or if they do, I don't know. I don't feel like people do. And that's why I'm putting it in this video. There are women who they want you and they don't know how to show you, or they are pushing you away for so many different reasons. And men, when they have their own mental health issues, usually what they do is they kind of keep away from relationships to try and sort out, not all the time, but a lot of them do that, to try and sort out some of these issues so they don't bleed it into a relationship. Ladies don't do that as often. And so she might be struggling with something while simultaneously trying to juggle whatever relationship you guys have. And you don't feel like she cares about you because she's not behaving in such a way that you feel is conducive to a healthy relationship. But in actuality, it's her mental health that's kind of creating some of those barriers. And she might be wanting certain things that don't make sense to you because maybe it's not healthy, comes from trauma. And so you're not really sure where this relationship is going, but she's battling a lot of other things along with trying to make a relationship work. That is one thing. The next one is she tried to communicate with you and she felt dismissed, so she left. Now, I'm not actually saying this is right or wrong. I'm just saying this happens. So I have some points about this that I'd like to discuss. Some women do this where they try to communicate and they feel dismissed, so they leave and they don't tell you. I don't think that's healthy. And I understand that's frustrating. However, some ladies, they actually do communicate and they try. Sometimes they don't know how to communicate it in the way where their husband or boyfriend understands. And so there's a miscommunication. And men do this too. Like both people do it. There's a miscommunication. She ends up feeling dismissed and she jumps the gun and she leaves without thinking, okay, what else can I do to communicate? So both of these things happen. It's not really right or wrong, but it's a pattern I see a lot, okay? The next one is she felt disrespected. This one is the same one I put in the male version as well. People who feel disrespected, they don't really want to stay in relationships because it's not healthy to be continuously disrespected. And people who stay in relationships that they are disrespected, they may have their own mental health issues. And so normally healthy people, they do leave when they're feeling disrespected. However, there are some ladies, which I've talked about on this channel before, that they actually are more drawn to mistreatment, which is the next point. Some ladies, not all, they want what they can't have. And this is a very important reality that we're seeing, I think, more often, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel like people talked about this, like our parents' generations and things like that. I don't feel like this was a thing, or maybe they didn't say it, but it's definitely a thing nowadays where there are ladies who they want someone they can't have. And even if you're a great guy, you're available, who knows? You might be a wonderful gentleman on all parts. Maybe like in general, you're doing well, you take care of yourself, you take care of her, you want to do right. And for some reason, she's attracted to, which I've seen, that, I don't know, not mentally well gentleman who doesn't treat her well. And she wants that guy. She doesn't want you, she wants that guy. That's the reason she's not choosing you, because she mentally has something she's working on subconsciously, maybe, a father wound, a mother wound, whatever is going on with her. And she wants to fix that in an unhealthy way, maladaptive, through this gentleman here. And that's why she's not choosing you, mental health. But she wants something that she cannot have. And the mechanism of this is, in her mind, it's low self-esteem, actually. She feels that if somebody who clearly is unhealthy or, not doing well, he changes for her, that means that she's special and she can finally be elevated to the status she truly wants to be. This special, unique lady, which I don't think there's really such thing, but she wants this. And you can't give her that because you like her for who she is now, and you don't need to change because you're already fine. You're not as mentally unstable as this other hypothetical gentleman, right? And so if you change or do whatever she's asking, it's not that great of a feat necessarily, because you're a likable, flexible guy. And so unfortunately, some ladies want to live in this continuous wound. And you will see women like this. They typically are in and out of relationships continuously. You will know this type of lady because she cannot hold a long-term relationship because she continuously chases men who don't really want anything to do with her. And the men who are great candidates for a good man will help her in so many ways. She just doesn't want him. But unfortunately, she's going to be in this cycle for a long, long time. And then when she's older and she finally realizes this is not healthy, it may be too late, because these, healthy gentlemen that did care about her, well, he's probably already married, because another lady said, I really like this guy. He's a good guy. I want to have a family and relationship with him, etc. And that's unfortunate, but it is the truth. The last one is, unfortunately, she feels like you want her for reasons that feels ingenuine, such as maybe wanting a girlfriend, or you want someone who's attractive to prove that you're worthy. And she feels like she's more than just maybe her looks or just being with you because you want a girlfriend. And that might not always be the case. You might want her for other reasons. This one can be solved with communication typically. It just might mean that she's been, taken advantage of at one point in her life. And so these are some of the reasons that a lady is not choosing you. And I just wanted to be honest. I understand that some people might be upset, but just being honest. I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.